The Black & Decker story is what this presentation is all about. It began in 1910 when Mr. Black and Mr. Decker pooled their assets of $1,200 to found the Black & Decker Manufacturing Company. To come up with his share of the capital, Mr. Black sold his prized 1907 Maxwell for $600. Mr. Decker must have had some valuable possessions too, for he raised $600 in cash. We can only guess at what treasures Mr. Decker sacrificed. At any rate, their combined resources were enough to rent a room in this building on Calvert Street in Baltimore, Maryland. Here is the room where Black & Decker built machines for sale to other companies in 1910. They concentrated on special machines, like this capping machine used for capping milk bottles, and this currency printing press for the Bureau of Engraving. As you can see, Uncle Sam thought they were all right. Lots of other buyers thought Black & Decker products were all right too. People like readers of Manufacturer's Record and Horseless Age, where the company placed this first ad in 1911. It was a start, but Mr. Black and Mr. Decker had other ideas in mind. Their goal was to market labor-saving devices under their own name. And in 1912, they adopted the Black & Decker hex as their trademark. By 1913, the founders were able to pay the first cash dividend on Black & Decker stock. Soon they had engineered, built, and patented the world's first portable power drill for commercial use. And its pistol grip and trigger switch are still used on most power tools today. These famous innovations are shown here in a 1921 ad. This drill and the electroflator, used to keep early auto tires at 100 pounds of pressure, were the first products to carry the Black & Decker trademark. You can guess what happened next. Black & Decker outgrew the one-room shop on Calvert Street. To accommodate the increasing demand for Black & Decker products, a new plant was built on 67 acres at Towson, Maryland. Wilson's Mule helped with the excavating. This payroll record, dated November 22, 1917, shows the Mule earning $3 more per week than Mr. Black and only $1 less than John Fox, who later became Director of Manufacturing. The men and the Mule obviously did a first-rate job. The Towson plant was expanded in 1924 and again in 1927. It was refurbished in 1964. Its two-story administration building still serves as Black & Decker's international headquarters. The company opened its first service branch in Boston in 1918 and located Black & Decker representatives in England, Canada, Russia, Australia, and Japan that same year. The next year, 1919, net sales passed the $1 million level. And the founders issued Black & Decker's first bonds, valued at $350,000 in 1920. To boost sales even higher, Black & Decker began mass media advertising with this full-page ad in the Saturday Evening Post. This Black & Decker schoolroom on wheels toured the U.S., demonstrating products in 1925. And the showroom for tools sprouted wings in 1929. Our first venture into consumer products was the Cinderella washing machine in 1930. Sales increased enough to pay off all bank loans in 1934 and to list Black & Decker's stock on the New York Stock Exchange in 1936. Of course, Black & Decker was producing a dizzying array of products during these years. Many of them featured the unique pistol grip and trigger switch. Among them were the half-inch BB special drill, this polisher grinder, and this electric quick saw. The company was growing in other ways, too. Between the two world wars, Black & Decker acquired several U.S. manufacturing companies. By 1941, Black & Decker was ready to play a vital role in national defense. The company pioneered the use of plastics when copper, aluminum, and high-grade alloys became scarce. You can imagine how important that innovation was. All in all, Black & Decker received 4 World War II citations. The Army-Navy E Award for production was one of them. And when the soldiers came back home, Black & Decker was ready to supply them with do-it-yourself power tools. We began with this first portable electric drill designed for consumers. By 1951, we'd sold quite a few of them. Here's Robert Black, son of the founder, inspecting the 1/1,000,000th such drill as the founders and other family members look on. Obviously, the Towson plant was no longer big enough, and Mr. Decker Sr. broke ground for a new plant at Hempstead, Maryland in 1951. It has since been expanded twice.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6,
The decade of the 50s saw us passing one milestone after another.
Rock, we're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
We started advertising power tools on network television, entered the market for lawn and garden tools with the first portable electric hedge trimmer, and passed the $50 million sales level in 1957. Since then, we continued expanding in the United States and all over the world. One of our biggest challenges was to adapt our products to comply with European requirements. We were so successful at doing this that we won the Queen's Award to Industry in 1966. That honor was for outstanding achievement in increasing exports. We developed cordless tools and all insulated tools.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
They worked safely and conveniently on the moon, in the backyard, in the workshop, and around the house. Everybody loved our tools. In 1974, we introduced our first one-year satisfaction guarantee. We scored popular successes with the Dust Buster, the Spotlighter, and the Scrub Brusher. By 1984, Black & Decker was ready to expand again. We decided to buy General Electric housewares. This way, we'll be able to diversify further with small appliances of proven quality.